In his video, Ethan spreads overt misinformation, just straight up lies about Hezbollah and Ansar Allah, or the...
Yeah, he said that every single person that died in the civil war in Syria was through bombing campaigns that Hezbollah had, implying that Hezbollah actually had like fighter jets that were dropping bombs on Syria. Like they killed everybody in Syria. That was all Hezbollah. What a psychotic. You didn't even scratch the surface. Like you didn't even dignify your audience with like basic information. That's insane. Like how do you put that out there after months and months of like putting together a video? He did it today too, and AB fact checked them. AB disputed Ethan Klein's claim that Hezbollah has killed far more Muslims than the IDF. Ethan won't believe it. He claims he's done extensive research and Hezbollah killed 500,000 Syrians.
I'm not trying to have a back and forth, but I think it's fair to say the IDF has definitely killed more
than Hezbollah.
I mean, if you want to
hold on. You think the IDF killed more Muslims than Hezbollah?
Are you talking about who you think is responsible, or just killed in general?
As a group.
I thought you said
I said Hezbollah's killed a shit more load of Arabs than IDF has. You're saying that's not true?
Yes, it's not true. It is false. It is objectively a falsehood. Why is nobody in his audience going, yeah, man, I don't think that's correct, actually? Like, is no one Googling anything at this point? What the is happening?
Because Hezbollah is credited with about 500,000 deaths in Syria.
Let's ask our friend ChatGPT.
I've looked into this pretty extensively. Okay. Hezbollah is significantly.
Yeah. No, totally.
Are you reading something contradictory, AB?
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT says, overall, due to the scale of frequency of IDF operations over decades, they have likely caused more Muslim casualties than...
Like, what are we talking about? It's not even a likelihood. What do they mean? You can't attribute the entirety of the death toll of the Syrian civil war to Hezbollah. What the hell? What are you talking about? They had Russian air forces bombing cities, dude. What are you talking about? You think Hezbollah has airplanes? If Hezbollah had airplanes, I doubt they would be using it in Syria. They would be using it in Tel Aviv, okay? Tel Aviv.
Hezbollah.
No shot. Hold on. What was the question you asked it?
Hezbollah versus IDF, who has killed more Muslims?
Ask if it's including the Syrian civil war. I mean, that makes no sense. I've literally fact-checked this 1,000,000 times.
No, he hasn't. There is 0% chance he's fact-checked this. As a matter of fact, people have fact-checked his statement. Like Bad Empanada fact-checked his statement. There is 0% chance that he has not encountered a single person, even on accident. I have fact-checked his statements. I fact-checked his statements while he was covering me live, as a matter of fact. So there is no world in which he is completely oblivious to this reality, okay? There is no way. He has to be omitting this detail deliberately.
I feel like. How many?
They both suck. They're both fucking terrible.
No, what do you mean? They both suck is like such a cop-out. Ethan made a erroneous claim. He made a ridiculous claim. He said Hezbollah has killed more Muslims than the IDF. This claim is untrue. It is categorically untrue. You can't turn around and be like, oh, both sides are pretty shitty, I think. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's that, you know?
Killing is horrible.
It doesn't really matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters. You can't say it doesn't matter. Yeah, once you realize that you're wrong, you're like, oh, okay. He used this table as evidence in his video, and literally at the top, it says all the following totals include civilians, rebels, and government forces at the top. Ridiculous. How is anybody not reading this if they're progressive? How is anybody not seeing the real problem is black on black violence that nobody talks about? Because that's what he's doing here. He's literally going, nobody talks about black on black violence, by the way. Like, that's it. That's what he's doing. But instead, he's like, oh, but it's Muslim on Muslim violence. That's the real problem here. Oh, my God.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean,
if we trust ChatGPT on this one, I don't know. It says that since 1984, IDF The number ranges from approximately 91,000.
It's funny they use ChatGPT as a true source. If they just type, is Hasan Piker anti-Semitic? ChatGPT says, I'm not aware of any credible evidence or consensus among reputable sources indicating that Hasan Piker is anti-Semitic. In Piker's case, he has consistently repudiated anti-Semitism and hate speech in general. Yeah. Hezbollah involvement in the civil war has been substantial since the beginning of the armed insurgency phase. God, the fucking Syrian civil war is so insane in terms of like the belligerents. Jesus Christ, it's wild because like with the exception of a couple militancies, almost all of it is either directly or indirectly funded by the United States of America, either by way of Turkey and NATO training and NATO forces, or directly funded by America, by the CIA. He checked it 1,000,000 times. He knows Hasan is anti-Semitic. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me finish this video. How does this end?
To over 115.
Well, listen, yeah, and Hezbollah in Syria alone killed double that much.
What? Oh, did he button? No.
Well, listen, yeah, and
Approximately 91,000 to over 115.
Hezbollah in Syria killed double the amount of 91,000, as in 180,000, 182,000 minimum. He's saying that Hezbollah killed 182,000 people in Syria, minimum. What Ethan means by research and fact-checking is that he saw the false talking point on Destiny subreddit, then took a screenshot of the wiki page on the Syrian civil war. It's difficult to believe that a grown man can be this invested in a subject he knows nothing about. You'd think if you're going to spend this much time talking about something, then you would at least do some basic research. Ethan has been fact-checked many times on this false understanding of the Syrian civil war casualties, but he still very confidently repeats this nonsense. It is also important to note that for many who don't know, there were many factions fighting in Syria, and many were part of Al-Qaeda, ISIS, or adjacent groups. Some of the groups Hezbollah fought are currently carrying out mass killings of minorities with nobody to defend them. Jesus Christ, dude. Also, even if the argument is true, by the way, which it obviously isn't, but even if it was true, it still doesn't justify Israel doing a genocide in Gaza. That's what's so fucking insane about the false argument that he's presenting. The only way that these arguments actually work is if your brain is broken by war on terrorism and the remnants of war on terrorism, Islamophobic propaganda. That's it. You look at a situation and you're like, well, they're all the same, right? Like, I know because he literally goes, well, they're bad guys. They're terrorists. They're bad guys. Everyone's a bad guy. Hasan likes bad guys. It's Keemstar level political commentary. It's so stupid.
In order to delegitimize their struggle against Israel's genocide. He cites baseless claims from Saudi state propaganda outlets to attack the Houthis.